Hey man, so I have basically kind of done like a hot fix for the characters. You know, there was a lot of stuff missing, but that will come in later. But you can see they're still pretty decent. I shipped you all the files, but the cool thing now is that you'll be able to use this now in any kind of setting. So let's say we're going to make something. So you'll be able to load basically your files here. Swagatrons. So let's say we want to have Ruad. Okay. It still gives you like an error, but I kind of already kind of fix what there was on the legacy avatars. So let's say we're going to have Ruad plus should we get some goose Ruad plus HQ, and they are talking with, so they're going to be talking to Craig Donalds. You see I had to fix that as well. There's a lot of the the chains and stuff are missing, but since these guys still have their personalities in here, Ruad as well, HQ2, I can now basically write a script and say, okay, so now I'm gonna just modify this script to, I'm gonna make it a little bit longer. I'm gonna leave everything as is, because the personalities will be loaded. So now I'll say generate script based on their personalities. So as you can see, they still pick up quite a bit about Swagatrons IP. Now I'll say create. You see we're missing some of these like textures from HQ, but I have that logged. So
Crack Donalds, we finally caught you. What do you have to say for yourself?
You got me, but you'll never understand my genius. My burgers are art.
Art that leads to health issues. How can you justify that?
So the default voice of Crack Donalds doesn't sound very good. I'm going to change that.
This is a preview so you can understand how this voice sounds.
I'm going to take the Michael voice for this. Now you can do all this in the simplified UI and just do run this script again, right? So I would say create, and now it's basically making the adjustments. In the simplified UI you don't have
Crack
access.
Donalds, we finally caught you. What do you have to say for yourself?
You got me, but you'll never understand my genius. My burgers are art.
Art that...
See, in the simplified UI, you don't actually have access to the lighting. So I go to the advanced UI for that. We might expose that later, but I'm going to add like a lighting rig because you see there's no lights to light these characters. So what I'll do is basically take a look, see what looks good. I'll take something like this, dramatic warm. I'll be able to kind of like take a quick look at this right now. Okay, let's take a look how this looks.
Crack Donalds, we finally caught you. What do you have to say for yourself?
You got me, but you'll never understand my genius. My burgers are art.
Art that leads to health issues. How can you justify that?
It's all about freedom of choice, my friend. People love what I offer.
But at what cost? You're harming the youth of Swagville with your unhealthy choices.
We're here to put an end to your fast food empire. It's time for a change.
Good luck with that. People will always crave what I provide.
We have a secret weapon, sound science. We'll deprogram your followers and show them the
So
light.
one thing here, you know, in the update of the characters, I think their facial animation has gone a little bit too much. So what you can do here, you go to your details, you can modify everything here, but you see these lip sync multipliers, they're a little bit too intense, so I'm going to put that to 2.5 here for correct Donalds. Then HQ, let's put that on 2. Rua, let's put that on 2 as well. So here you can basically kind of massage the character's expressions. The lip sync multiplier is what basically does the automatic facial animation of the mouth. So the entire face you can also amplify. You can everything you can tweak here. So now I'll go and take a look at it again. You don't need to redo the whole sequence. Let's take a look
Crack
at it.
Donalds, we finally caught you. What do you have to say for yourself?
You got me, but you'll never understand my genius. My burgers are art.
Art that leads to health issues. How can you justify that?
It's all about freedom of choice, my friend. People love what I offer.
But at what cost? You're harming the youth of
You see, like-
Swagville with your unhealthy...
You see his frown is kind of like a little bit too much here. It's going like kind of crazy. So what I can do now, actually let me just, so you can basically tear off this window of the avatar editor. And I'll do that so that I can actually edit in context. So in my details panel, I go and I see that the entire face here, you see, so I can kind of tweak the intensity of this. So this looks about right, you know. Actually, it's just like default. Let's see what the other guys are doing. And you can basically kind of drop down here and see what he's already at 1.5. Let's put that at 1.2. And you just got to kind of see what works with the character. I'll usually have this on my second monitor, but okay.
Crack
Here we
Donalds,
go.
we finally caught you.
Then you hit
What do
D
you have to say for yourself?
You got me,
for-
but you'll
to
never
get
understand
rid
my
of the,
genius. My
gizmos.
burgers are art.
Art that leads to health issues. How can you justify that?
It's all about freedom of choice, my friend. People love what I offer.
But at what cost? You're harming the youth of Swagville with your unhealthy choices.
We're here to put an end to your fast food empire.
Now HQ's audio is a little bit low, you see, compared to the other guys.
It's all about freedom of choice, my friend. People love what I offer.
But at what cost?
You see, so I'm gonna see. Let's see if what happens when we put that at 2.
For
But at what cost? You're harming the youth of Swag...
Maybe like 3. And you see it sets a keyframe, but your first keyframe will be kind of defining for everything, so you can fade it in and out.
By that.
It's all about freedom of choice, my friend. People love what I offer.
But at what cost? You're harming the youth of Swagville with your unhealthy choices.
We're here to put an end to your fast food empire. It's time for a change.
Good luck with that. People will always crave what I provide.
We have a secret weapon, sound science. We'll deprogram your followers and show...
So yeah, you see that's how easy you can make content basically. I'll give this a render.
Finally
and,
caught you. What do you have to say for yourself?
You got me.
Hopefully, yeah, you'll be able to make cool stuff yourself. Okay, so all I do here now is like make sure I set this. You know, I usually do either HD or like 2K. Make sure I basically kind of set the format to MP4. That's basically it. and then I hit render, and now it's rendering. One thing you have to kind of bear in mind is that basically Replikant renders frames, so now it's doing like a warm-up. If there was like particles and a lot of times like post processes and so on, and when it actually finishes, it will take a bit of time to convert all these frames into a movie. So usually that takes a little bit of time. So when you basically get to the end and you think it gets stuck, pay some attention to the timer. If the elapsed time is still running, you're good. The only thing it's doing then is basically stitching frames together into an MP4 and getting rid of them afterwards. So I'm gonna stop the recording here. But yeah, hopefully that helped.